You can go up to 8 hours. Okay.
Oh, hell no. I'm bailing if this goes crazy.
All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming back to my channel. We are live talking football with BreAnn Cintron of the Utah Falconz.
Yep, here we are.
How's everyone doing tonight? Hey, so tell us a little bit about the Falconz, Bree. What position do you play?
So I play two different positions. I play offensive guard and I play defensive linebacker. And I've been playing for 4 seasons. We're about to go into my 5th season. The Falconz. Daren hasn't really explained any of this at all, but I'm his sister, by the way. Did he say that?
Yeah, I did say that.
Okay. But the Falconz is a women's tackle football team. There's teams all over the country, all over the world of women full tackle football players, and it's just about as full football as you can get: pads, helmets, everything. And we play college rules, full 100 yards. It's not your mama's powder puff. It's just about as intense as you can expect.
Not your mama's powder puff. Is it like the powder puff that they play
Not
in
your
high
papa's
school?
powder puff. No, I think the most anytime I mention playing football, a lot of people assume it's either lingerie or it's powder puff football. Of course, powder puff is not padded. Lingerie is obviously in lingerie. We're in pads, helmets, full uniform. It's a lot of the lingerie leagues are kind of gimmicky. They're they're really hyped up for the showmanship of it, but we play full contact football. It's 11 on 11, college rules, everything. It's true gridiron football.
That's awesome. And you said you've won how many championships?
Championships. Okay, so the Falconz have been in existence for 4 years. We played 4 full seasons, and the Falconz so the first year we were kind of proving ourselves in the league. So we ran independently, so we didn't get to vie for a championship that year, but we did run undefeated. Our second year, we were fully in the league, and we went into the playoffs. We went to the championship game, which was kind of exciting in our first league game. This is my cat. She's trying to get in my lap.
Hi, cat.
So that second year, we did make it to the championship game, ran undefeated, went to South Carolina to play for that championship, and we lost by 4 points. It was pretty heartbreaking. It was a very close game, absolutely head-to-head the whole way. And then the third year, we came right back, undefeated, played for the championship again in North Carolina, and we won that game pretty handedly. So that was our first championship for a national women's tackle football league. And then last year was our second year. We got the awesome privilege of hosting the game in Utah, and we won that game as well. So we are back-to-back national champions. Tambien. And it's pretty awesome to be able to represent our state that way, and just kind of do our coaches proud. And so we're hoping to at least make another appearance at the championship game this year. A three-peat would be pretty solid, and hopefully we'll bring it all home again. So for right now, after 4 seasons, our record is something like 41 wins to 1 loss. So
that's actually pretty good odds, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And you all know. Okay, so you all know I don't know much about football. I support the Falconz because my sister's pretty awesome. But I mean, full tackle football. Come on, who does that? This chick,
This gal
this gal.
who has two
So,
thumbs and tackles other broads.
so
This
I mean,
gal.
I've been to some of the games back when I was in Utah, and they are pretty legit. They have full tackle. So, um, what is the season looking like this year?
What do you mean?
I
What is
mean,
this?
are you guys what's what are your plans? You've got your team already, correct?
Yeah, we've got a team. Practices don't start until the 13th. We've got an awesome set of rookies coming in. We've got some pretty awesome veterans that are coming back for another season, another chance at another win. And our first game's March 31st. And that's in either California or Vegas. I'm not quite sure. And it's in Vegas. Our first game is in Vegas on the 31st. And the cool thing about this year, let me break it down for you a little bit further. So there's two women's tackle football leagues. There's the WFA and the IWFL. We're in the IWFL. That's the league that we participate in. That's the league that we're the champions of. And the awesome thing is this year, some of the best teams from the WFL have actually come over into the IWFL. So it's pretty cool to see some of the upper echelon teams switch leagues. So that way we have a chance to be able to play some of these really awesome teams. It's going to be a lot more competitive. And it's fantastic, really, because we get an opportunity to prove ourselves to a different batch of teams. We get the chance to kind of test ourselves against some really awesome women. And nothing's guaranteed. Just because we have won the last two seasons, that doesn't mean anything. We get the chance to say, yeah, we beat everyone in the IWFL the last 2 years, but now we get the opportunity to kind of see how we match up against some of the better teams in the other league.
That's actually pretty cool. Do you know what teams are joining the IWFL?
Yeah, there's a handful of teams. There's some teams out of Oregon. There's the San Diego Surge, which I'm a huge fan of. They're coming over from obviously from San Diego. There's the Seattle Majestics. They're a really awesome team. And then I believe there's two teams from Oregon that are coming over as well.
So what? Greg is asking if the Columbus Comets are coming over.
The Clements Comets?
Columbus Comets.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with that team. I'm not sure what league they're in right now. They might be WFA.
According to the interwebs, they are the Women's Football Alliance. So.
Oh, okay. So they're WFA.
Yeah. Greg just wants to know because he wants to know if we can go to a game together. But if they're not coming and you're not coming, then we wouldn't be able to go to a game together. So Greg's actually my coworker.
You should still go to a game for the Comets. Support women's football. It's really awesome to see, women basically going out there and proving that women can play football. It's as hard hitting as men. It's pretty intense. And if you have a women's football team in your area, please go support them. Go show them all the love and support you at any male game. Sorry, I can't see comments, so if there's anything good, you should just let me know.
Maybe, I don't know. You know how I feel about football. Maybe one of these days we'll go.
Yeah, Daren doesn't watch the sports balls.
I don't watch the sports ball, but I have a pretty cool sister, so that's yeah. So
you came to one of my games when you lived here.
I did come to a couple multiple games when I came or when I lived there. Yes, maybe one day I'll make it back and go to another. I don't know what's gonna happen in the future, but
you should for sure 100% come to a game. I'll buy your ticket.
You buy me a ticket? Okay.
Yeah.
Will you buy me a plane ticket as well?
No.
Why not?
I don't love you that much.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
The pause. Okay.
Yes,
You
Joseph
should just come out
Dad.
here anyways for the sake of your family.
What?
What?
Joseph Dad says foosball. Yes, we're
Yeah,
talking foosball.
that's what Daren thinks it's called, is foosball. He's real good at foosball, and that's just about it.
Okay. Jared says tell Brie to open YouTube in a different screen to see the comments. She has it open on her
I have it
mobile
open on my
device.
phone, but it's too small. Jared's got a solid plan, though. I think I'm going to do that. Daren told me that I couldn't click and type, so y'all have to get up.
While you're doing that, I got to give a huge shout out to my IT guy, Mr. Joseph Dad. He helped me set the stream up. You are amazing, sir. So Greg is actually what?
But thanks, Jared.
Oh yeah.
Solid. Jared's the brother that cares about me seeing comments.
They've been texting me too, Jared. So I don't know what they're doing or what they're not doing. So hopefully they can get it working. Greg is actually one of my coworkers. You see him in multiple of my vlogs. We go out and do random things, and he is actually more impressed with you than he is with me because you play football, and because yes, you are building a plane. So, Joseph Dad says, "Nice to meet you." So, for those of you that don't know how awesome my sister is, she plays tackle football, and then she is building a plane in her spare time. So she's actually pretty cool. If she wasn't,
I'm catching up. Wait, hold on. I'm catching up on comments now. Tell Celeste I said hi. Love you bunches. And Greg, you watched the North Carolina game. That's awesome. I assume you watched the YouTube.
Yeah,
was it YouTube or was it live? I don't know if you watched it live because it's kind of.
It was live on YouTube. That year, it was live on YouTube. So we were disappointed last year when they didn't do it live. But we pulled it up at work and we watched the heck out of it. So.
Well, shoot. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the support.
Absolutely. So, all right. Thanks for coming, Mr. Joseph Dad. Thanks for your support. Thanks for everything you do. Go football. So,
go football.
What?
I said go football. Yeah, that's the correct way to root on football.
We have Geo Wing from Australia. That's actually pretty cool. So, Geo Wing, thanks for joining us. This is my sister in the other screen. She is actually playing women's football, full tackle, for the Utah Falconz. So they're pretty amazing. So other than football and building a plane, what else do you do on your spare time?
Oh gosh, football does keep me pretty busy, and then the plane keeps me pretty busy. And if I'm not doing one or both at the same time, I'm just kidding. Then I'm snowboarding, probably working out at the gym. A lot of that working.
I work. John, thank you for joining us. Okay, so Geo Wing 2 is Greg's son. So.
Say that again.
Geo Wing 2 in the comments is Greg's son. He's actually more cooler than Greg because he lives in Australia, and not Ohio. So,
huh? I said facts. Most people in Ohio are awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. So how many games are in a season? A regular season.
So usually the regular season games are about 8.
8,
okay. And we usually keep it about 4 home, 4 away. So we travel around the Western United States. And
Unless you're
So we'll
traveling,
travel to
unless you're
what?
traveling to North Carolina to win a championship.
Yeah, the championship is the location varies each year, but our region is the Western Conference, and obviously we're conference champions for the last 3 years if we made it to the championship for the last 3 years. But our conference on the western side keeps us traveling to California and Arizona and Nevada. This year we'll be doing more Oregon and Seattle teams, so there's teams all over the country.
I'm trying to
You look
remember.
like you're deep in thought.
I'm trying to remember. I'm guessing it was the first season that you played a team in Seattle.
Yeah. The first year we were fortunate enough to play the Seattle Majestics. They came down from Seattle, and it was the first year that we were not officially in the league yet. So it was really awesome to be able to play them in an exhibition game. This year it'll be a full league sponsored game with the Seattle Majestics, and I think that's going to be a pretty awesome matchup.
That's pretty cool. Greg has a question for you. He wants to know how you travel.
How we travel?
Yeah. Do you flap your wings?
That's a great question. So the Utah Falconz is a considered semi-professional sport. Well, women's football is considered semi-professional, but the reality is we're not actually getting paid for it. So basically, it's a pay-to-play sport, and so we have to raise a lot of funds. Each player pays fees each year. So it requires a lot of fundraising and just gathering sponsors if we can, and to be able to travel safely, we're able to rent out buses. So we basically get like a labus and a labus, and so we'll leave Friday night, hop on the bus, travel through the night, and get there early Saturday morning, get checked into a hotel, and hopefully take a quick nap and get some food, and then we play our game, win our game, and then go out to dinner, have a wee celebration, go to bed, wake up early Sunday morning, and travel home. And it usually takes about all day to travel home, depending where we're coming from.
That's pretty cool.
So it's pretty awesome to be able to travel together as a team. I think we're probably one of the more fortunate teams because we've been able to travel together on a bus. A lot of the other teams, they either have to drive themselves or they rent vans and have to drive themselves. And it is a little dangerous simply because you're driving through the night, you're exhausted, you show up and you have to play a football game, and then you have to basically turn around and drive home again. So for the Falconz to be able to work very hard to raise money, it's pretty awesome to be able to put those funds towards those travel fees, just so we have a little bit of peace of mind that we're not going to crash off the road. So if you do have a women's football team in your area, definitely support them because they need the funds. Like, it's difficult to get sponsors, and so it's pretty awesome if you have the availability to donate a couple dollars to your local team. That's fantastic.
That's pretty cool. I remember the couple games that I went to. I remember the Seattle Majestics. They stole the Seattle Seahawks bus, which was actually kind of a shocker to see that in the parking lot. But the other games I remember just seeing random people showing up in cars. So that's completely crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, it's hard to gather funds. So, like I said, we're one of the more fortunate teams in the league, and it's not even because the Falconz are better than any other team. It's really just a matter of our ownership in the past has just been really awesome about making sure that the Falconz have as much protection as possible, I guess. And a lot of other teams just haven't been able to garner that support, I suppose. But to drive through the night and then have to play a game, it kind of puts them at a little bit of a disadvantage, kind of. So, like I said, support women's football. It's kind of an up and coming sport, and we'd just really like to see it taken to the next level.
That's pretty cool. So Jared says he liked your comment where you said play our game, win our game. And then Greg said playing every game sleep deprived would be a horrible. He said playing every game sleep deprived, but I'm going to add on that would be a horrible idea. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, truth be told, you're not really sleeping a whole lot on the bus. It is really hard to sleep on the bus and get comfortable, but you're not driving. So
yeah,
it's just a little bit peace of mind that you can kind of try to sleep as much as possible and try to get to the hotel early and get a nap in before the game. But yeah, basically the whole weekend is rough because you're getting to whatever location sleep deprived, and then you're trying to take a nap if you're lucky, and then play the game so you're exhausted after the game, and then basically wake up and do it all over again, hop back on the bus. But I guess just being able to have a bus is just makes us really lucky.
That would be a blessing. So Bonna Kelly, thank you for joining us. How many teams are there in the league?
Oh, every time I get asked this question, I guess so completely wrong. And the number of teams vary each year because there's new teams created or teams fold. In the IWFL, I want to say there's something around 20, but I could be very wrong on that. So, but that's just the IWFL. There's a lot more teams in the WFA as well. The WFA has a tiered system where they kind of break them up into 3 different tiers depending on the size of the team and skill level. So, but there's just about a team in every state.
Looks like there's roughly 22 if you count teams that are in development and teams that are allied organizations, according to the Google Sphere.
Oh, so I wasn't too far off.
Nope, you were doing pretty good. You know what, Greg? I need you to be a lot kinder to myself. He said you have better traveling history than I do.
Fact. It's not hard though. Daren leaves the state and he's already breaking down. It's really not hard.
I didn't break it down when I came out here. I just break down when I try to go home. So
I don't know how you're so bad with cars.
No idea. So, who's in the Super Bowl this year?
The Super Bowl, I believe, are the Eagles and the Patriots.
Okay.
Do we have any fans from either team? I guess it'll depend on how rough I can be on either team.
just tell Greg. Shut up, Greg. John says, "Shut up, Greg." I'm not a fan of the Patriots. From everything that I've heard, I'm not a fan. I watch the Super Bowl for. I'm rooting on the food and the commercials.
I love those commercials.
Oh my gosh! So the disappointing thing with the Super Bowl commercials, though, is with the YouTubes, all of the commercials get leaked, so you don't even have to watch the Super Bowl anymore. There is a Peter Dinklage commercial.
I already saw it.
Oh my gosh.
So fantastic.
Heather didn't like it, but I thought it was funny as heck.
It was so awesome. Peter Dinklage rapping. He looked awesome. I love him in general already, and then did you see the Morgan Freeman flip side?
Yeah, the one that I saw had both of them together. It had the Peter Dinklage and then the Morgan Freeman right after. So, Jared says any team that Tom Brady doesn't play for. So,
oh, so true.
Yeah, Heather's voting for the Eagles. Bon is voting for the Ducks.
For the what?
The Ducks.
The Ducks?
Yeah, she says I'm a Ducks fan. I'm guessing hockey. I don't know.
Oh, I was like, the Dutch?
Ducks.
I don't think the Dutch. Oh, Ducks.
Ducks.
Oh, no, Darren, Ducks. Ducks, the Oregon Ducks. It's a college football team from Oregon.
You're right. Okay.
Oh, Darren, you're so cute. You don't know anything.
I don't know anything. That's why I have you here.
Yeah, I like the Ducks. Obviously we're in Utah, so I'm a Ute fan.
Go Utes.
Yeah, the Ducks are really amazing. The Ducks, they're one of the best college teams. So.
Oh my gosh! Can you tell I don't want sports, guys? Seriously.
Oh boy. It's okay.
So, with the football and the such, are there any particular teams that you follow other than obviously the Falcons?
Oh yeah. I follow the Green Bay Packers, and it's been such a horrifying season. Obviously, so our quarterback Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks ever to live, and yeah, he got injured. He was pretty set to have an amazing season this year, and he got injured pretty early in the season. It was kind of it wasn't a season end. It was a season-ending injury. He broke his clavicle, if I understand right. Daren, you should know a little bit about breaking your clavicle.
I do know something
experience.
about. It's not fun.
What?
I do know something about breaking a clavicle. It's not fun.
Yeah, he landed on his arm really funky and broke his clavicle, and he was out for I think 6 weeks, and then he was able to. They put in the backup quarterback who's just not as tested, and it was just an absolute fall into a pit of despair. And by the time he was able to come back, Aaron Rodgers was able to come back. We were pretty much done. So
gotcha.
It was pretty heartbreaking. I mean, we started out the season so incredibly strong, and we had a lot of injuries just overall throughout the whole team. The offensive line was constantly broken up. So it was kind of a rough season for the Packers.
So I had a question for you, but so with the Falcons, have you guys had any major injuries or anything like that? Now that we're talking about it.
I'm sorry, what was the last thing you said?
Now that we're talking about injuries, have you guys had any major injuries on the Falcons?
Yeah, we've had several injuries. Luckily, I haven't had very many injuries.
Yay, let's keep it that way.
Yay, no injuries. Yeah, we've had some injuries. Like the last season, we had a couple people that pretty much were out for the rest of the season. One girl tore something in her knee. I don't remember. It was ACL something. Tore something pretty bad. Had to have surgery. And another athlete broke her leg in a couple of places. It's really heartbreaking. And yeah.
So let me follow that up with since do you have enough backup players to cover those injuries?
Yeah, the Falcons have a pretty deep roster, which is pretty fantastic. Obviously, we have our starting players, but one of the things that I really, really love about the Falcons is we have 3 strings, which means that we can fully cover our roster fully covers 3 different strings of people, so you can have like basically 3 squads at any one time. And the really awesome thing about the Falcons is, our best players will start out the game, and in NFL teams and college teams, their first string will play all season unless they're injured or unless the game's either absolutely won before the game's finished and they can send in the second string, or the game's absolutely lost completely and there's no chance of coming back. They'll send in the second string for the sake of giving them some practice. But the great thing about the Falconz is we'll play all three strings usually by the end of the first quarter. We just rotate the first string, and then we'll send in the second string, and then we'll send in the third string.
So everybody gets a chance to play?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome for everyone to get the chance to play. And I kind of think that because we rotate through our strings so much, that our second and third string get a lot more practice in practice and in games. So it makes them better. It's fantastic that our roster is so deep. So if someone on the first string were to be injured, we can send in the second wave, the person to replace them, and that person there's no drop off in skill. And it's pretty awesome to see. Like I've played on the second string, I played on the third string, and it's cool to be able to go out there on the third string and have your opponent not even tell which string it's in. Like one time I was out on the field, I'm third string defense. Like I think they put me out on defense because they think it's funny. Like, oh, that'll be pretty funny. Let's see what she can do at linebacker. And so anyways, I'll go out on the third string defense and I'll hear people from the other side go, "Hey guys, you're winning. Maybe you could, take it easy." And I'll say, "Oh dude, we're third string." And they're like, "Oh, I didn't even realize."
That's awesome.
So it's cool. It's because we rotate through our strings so much. I think it actually is a benefit in the end because our second and third string gets a lot of great experience.
That's actually pretty cool. So really quick to catch up on the comments. Bonna says she lives in New York, so the Bills and the Giants are her team. And the Bills surprised her this year. That's good, Bonna.
Hi, Bonna.
And then Jared said maybe the NFL should take some lessons from that strategy on the different strings.
So I kind of think the same thing, especially because, and jumping back to the example with the Packers, Aaron Rodgers was injured. They put in that second string quarterback, and he didn't have any experience in an NFL game. He wasn't used to the speed. He wasn't used to how everything ran. So he didn't get enough reps in practice, and he didn't get enough reps in an actual game. So maybe if he had more reps in a game, he would be a lot more prepared to hop into an NFL game midseason.
And that completely makes sense. I was gonna say I remember one or two games that I went to before we left, before we moved. I remember one or two of the teams. I remember one team had to forfeit because they ran out of players, and then one team they just forfeited because they didn't have enough players. Like they couldn't even start the game. So
yeah. A lot of teams have a hard time keeping their rosters full. I think the Falconz have never struggled with this because, for one, the team camaraderie is fantastic. People are on the team because they love to play and they love the team members. I know that's the same for other teams out there, but in terms of recruiting, I think the Falconz have had a lot of great success in recruiting. So we've been able to keep our rosters full, but it's I think also a benefit with the Falconz because our roster is full and we do rotate through our strings so frequently that every string gets a pretty solid break. We're not really running out of gas by the half because we're constantly rotating through. Whereas a lot of teams, if they're either playing the first string the whole time or they're playing or they only have enough players on their roster to cover, offense and defense, they're having to play the whole game straight through, and they do run out of gas. So I don't know what the difference is between the Falconz being able to keep a fuller roster. I don't know what the secret sauce is there. I think it's just a matter of, we recruit our friends, and then because we're able to show them what football is all about. It's very addictive, and people stay around. I don't know what the difference is between other teams.
That's pretty cool. So I do have a couple questions in the chat. First one is from your father that texted me, and he said,
My father?
Yes.
Okay.
When does the season start? I know you answered this, but he had technical difficulties. So when does the season start?
The season starts March 31st, and then our next game is April 7th. And then we have a home game for those of you that are in Utah after that. And I highly recommend that you come because it's going to be pretty awesome.
So
I was going to try to find the date, but I feel weird, like I'm sifting through my phone. I'm not texting. I'm trying to find the date. So the first game is March 31st in Vegas, and then April 7th in LA. And then, sorry guys,
You're fine.
Okay, and then April 14th is our very first home game, and that's against the Seattle Majestics, which will be awesome.
I'm going to post a link in the chat to their website. Hopefully it's updated. If it's not, I can't help you there.
Yeah. Check out the Falconz on Facebook, Instagram.
Really quick. So, Bonna said, do you find the second and third strings try harder because they know they will play?
Absolutely. When I first joined the team, I was really, really nervous about failing on the field, or I was really nervous about letting the team down. I didn't want to run out there and absolutely mess up and bring the level of skill down for the rest of the team. So definitely the second and third string, they play harder because they don't want to let the rest of the team down. They want to be prepared. They want to understand the game, know the plays. They want to be able to do well. And they want to prove something as well. So they're fighting for, kind of their own string. I know, they don't want the whole string to look bad. So they do really well for the sake of their string. So it's like an absolute 360. Everyone's playing their best because they want to do the best for their team, for their string, for their position. And then, of course, our first string plays really well because they want to show that they were put in that position and that, the coaches didn't have any undue faith in them.
Awesome. Excuse me. So the next question comes from John from Australia. He said, what are your thoughts on the tackling or lack thereof in the NFL? How do you go about it in your league?
On the tackling, I think the NFL has had some crazy dirty tackles this year. I think a lot of conversation circles around safety for players. There's been a lot of injuries in the past that could have been avoided if the technique was a little bit better. And I think a lot of people, they want to make a tackle so bad they just dive in literally head first.
Gotcha.
So it is an issue that people need to take a hot second and review their tackling technique. And then of course, the lack of tackles. I don't know how that plays out in the NFL, but within a women's tackle football league, I think women are also trying to prove that they can play football as well as any man. So they're wanting to make sure that they're tackling and the tackling looks great. But at the same time, men that play football usually grow up in the sport. They're usually playing it from like elementary school, junior high, high school, college. They're growing up playing the sport, and it's something that they've done for a very long time. But the difference with women is because we don't have that avenue, most of us don't have the opportunity to play before joining a league like this. There are a couple women that have been able to play on high school with the boys, but for the most part, women, when they start playing tackle football, they really start from this semi-professional level. And so the importance really comes on teaching tackling in a safe way, because it's not something that we grew up doing. It's something that is very foreign to us. And I think a lot of times in the earlier seasons, you'll see women that are, I mean, not in the earlier seasons, but like in the earlier games of the season, you'll see a lot of what we call arm tackles, where you kind of go after a tackle, but you're not quite used to tackling full speed in a game. So there is a learning curve to it. I don't know if that answers your question at all, but you'll see the tackling get improved throughout the season.
That makes sense.
But it's like tackling is such a huge thing. You have to know how to tackle safely. You have to know how to be tackled safely. There's a lot of injuries that happen if the technique's not there. And there's a lot of, if there are injuries, it's usually because of technique that wasn't really executed well during the tackle. So yeah, safety is a huge issue when it comes to tackling.
Excuse me. That's actually, to be honest, when I first heard that you were playing football, my first thought was that was back in the day when the NFL was all about head injuries. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but everyone was concerned about head injuries and concussions and things like that, and whether or not the helmets were safe enough. And so that was one of my biggest concern was tackle safety. But and that's,
yeah, helmets have come a long way in terms of safety. The helmets protect you pretty, it protects you. I mean, of course, there have been a couple times where I've been tackled, my helmet has flown off. I've been tackled down to the ground and my helmet flew off, and actually the face mask hit me in the face right here and grazed my jaw, and my jaw hurt for like 3 weeks after that. My whole face was numb for a while. My mouth was bleeding because of the impact on my teeth. So, I mean, yeah, the helmets are there to protect you, but they only do so much.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've been tackled where, the tackle was safe and the helmet protected me, but it still hurts. There was one time that I tackled a girl last year, and my whole face felt like it was going to fall off, because even though the helmet did its job, it's still pretty dangerous.
Gotcha. Joseph Dad says that he did the up arrow pointing at John's comment, but he said, that is why I refuse to watch NFL ball. If I need a football fix, I watch college ball. They will knock someone out and not think twice.
I don't know, though, because college is kind of starting to become really strict about that. It seems like if you have like a targeting call on you, they'll throw you out of the game. So I think that the college football, they're really trying to really tighten in on some of those injury issues. And I think injury and concussions, they're becoming more of a hot topic within football because of some of the issues that surround it. Was it CTE that the movie Concussions talked about? Have you seen that movie?
I've not seen it.
Okay, so I am probably going to misquote this completely, but there's an issue when you have too many concussions, and it releases some sort of protein within your brain, and it can actually cause personality disorders where you basically rage out of control, and it's caused a lot of football players who are later in their career to basically snap, and they've either killed people or killed themselves. There's speculation that O.J. Simpson had it, but that was pre-diagnosis where we didn't even know that it was something that existed. But I mean, I really don't want to dive into the politics of CTE and kind of all of that, but basically it's coming back around where concussions is way more important than we ever suspected it to be, because of some of these long-lasting issues. Of course, with women playing football, because we've started playing after high school, we're less prone to some of these issues. But I don't know what was.
Sorry, I just got a text from your mother that says, now she tells me these things.
About injuries?
Yeah, injuries and concussions.
Oh, Mom. Last year I had the worst concussion and I didn't want to tell you.
Probably for the best.
Last year it was not a terrible concussion. It actually it I recovered pretty quickly. But
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I don't know if Mom was there. I think she was one of the times where I got tackled. It was actually an illegal tackle because it was a kick return, so I should not have been tackled really. So I was acting as a blocker, and somebody tackled me, and I went to the ground, and my helmet flew off. That's the one I was talking about earlier. And I was laying on my side, and the girl was actually right in front of me, and I just looked at her and went, "What the heck, dude?" And she goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that." She was instantly like, "Whoopsies."
My
And
man.
yeah, exactly. And I got up and I looked into the stands and I saw Mom and she was looking pretty worried. And I was like, "We're fine." But I was forgetting what my name was at that point. So I
Yeah,
wasn't even sure if that was my mother.
she said the face hit.
The face hit?
Yeah.
Did I say that or?
No, Mom said that.
Oh, she's talking about when the face mask hit my face.
Yeah.
That was when I had braces and my braces cut up the inside of my mouth.
Oh.
And my teeth hurt so bad that I was worried that my braces had been knocked off or something. So I went to the orthodontist and I was like, "I got messed up." And he's like, "Your braces are fine." And I was like, and it hurt so bad that I asked him if my teeth were dying in the back of my mouth because I was afraid they were going to be like black or something because it
Oh,
hurt so bad. And he's like, "No, your teeth are fine. They're healthy." And I was like, "Okay, well, if they're not going to fall out," because I was like really paranoid of it.
that's awesome. So
Sorry, Mom. I love you. It won't happen again. Love you.
she said, "Shame on you." But
Oh.
um, Jared wants to know if the games will be streamed this year, which is actually a very good question because last year I think a couple of them were, but they were the championship was not. So I really hope they can figure that out.
Yeah. The game should be streamed this year. I
On
don't have anything specific, but we're trying to. I don't want to announce anything specific, so just follow Facebook. The the team will announce anything if there's anything to be announced. But I'm fairly very confident that the games will be streamed live this year.
That would be cool. So, Joseph Dad says it's football, not patty cake. Concussions, bumps, bruises, and pain are a part of it.
Yeah, he's right. He's completely right.
Uh,
Um, and I'm sure he's talking about the
the concussions and the
earlier about college football being harder and how he prefers college football over
yeah
the whole concussion discussion. Yep, you're
concussion
right. It's
concussion discussion.
yeah, concussion discussion. Yeah, I mean concussions is all part of it. Bumps, bruises, blah blah blah. It's all part of it. And honestly, if I think that's why people love football so much is because it is such a contact sport. It is such an intense sport. I love watching football because of that. I love playing football because of that. There's nothing better than hitting a girl and just hearing the air be knocked out of her lungs a little bit. Um,
Maybe
and
you've had too many concussions.
what?
Maybe you've had too many concussions, and there's
Maybe.
some sort of
Maybe.
protein that. So, do you guys have like a concussion limit where you'll be pulled out, or
If you have a concussion, you need to pull yourself out pretty much. We do have a trainer on the sideline that evaluates you. If you think you've got a concussion, he can evaluate you. Or if someone else sees that there's a potential you could have a concussion, they'll they'll kind of be your battle buddy and say, "Hey, you need to talk to the trainer." The trainer will evaluate you, and if you do have a concussion, then he'll sit you out. Depending on the severity of your concussion, you should either see a doctor, or there's a potential that there is a concussion protocol where you should be sitting out practice and game for a certain amount of time, depending on the severity of your concussion.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Joseph Dad says he played. I have the bum knees to show for it.
Preach.
I've had the concussions, cracked bones, blown knees, etc. We actually talked about his knees in something else. I think it was today or yesterday, about how he's been living with his knee problems for the last couple of years. So
yeah, do you know what position he played?
What position did you play, Mr. Joseph?
Lineman. I'm calling it right now. Lineman. Oh man, lineman is so bad on the knees. We, on our team, we just anytime our knees are hurt, and we'll just say, "Oh, got those lineman knees," because yeah, like it's really rough on the knees. I mean, any position is rough on the knees, any position, but it is especially bad for some of the linemen.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm actually going to follow up your question to Joseph Dad, whether it was college football, high school football, or powder puff.
Mm-hmm. Are you talking?
No, I'm talking to Joseph Dad. I want to know what he played, whether it was college football or powder puff or high school. Oh my gosh, Mom, maybe you should sit out this live stream.
What did she say?
She said, sorry guys, for those of you that aren't aware, my parents are technologically challenged and they're not able to figure out the chat. So, but they said, make sure it doesn't happen again. And she said, what? These words coming from my baby girl?
Oh, is she talking about when I said it's kind of fun to hit people?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. It is pretty fun to hit someone. And I mean, convexly, so I play linebacker and guard. So they're just absolutely opposite positions. And so it's really fun to be able to be in a blocking position and to hear the frustration from someone that can't get around my blocks. Obviously, the defense, they're trying to get around me to get to the ball. And it's pretty fantastic to hear, them frustrated trying to get around my blocks, but it's also awesome to be able to hit someone and tackle them to the ground. Sorry, Mom, love you. I'm not a violent person by any means, but the game is the game, and it's awesome.
But I think that's why people like to watch it. It's just they love the carnage, and I think that's honestly the same thing with hockey. Is there's carnage in hockey, and everybody loves to watch that. So
yeah.
So Joseph Dad, he said he played offensive left tackle and defensive middle linebacker, and he played in high school. Would have gone to college, but the knees couldn't take him anymore. So
yeah, it's that lineman knees. I'm telling you. Yeah, I wear braces and knee braces, and yeah, you got to take care of your knees.
Yeah,
because it's really rough on the knees.
So Joseph Dad says, I agree with Bree. There is no better feeling in the world than ear holing someone and it sounding like a car crash and hear the crowd grimace.
Yep. Uh-huh. Okay. Yep. Sorry, Mom.
I'm going to have to ask what ear holing is.
I don't know what that term is. I've not heard of that. Unless he's talking about like hitting in the ear hole of the helmet. I don't know what.
Is there an ear hole in the helmet or?
Yeah, there's an ear hole in the helmet. There's like a little hole for your ear so you can hear.
Maybe he just grabs that and throws them to the ground. Maybe.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of illegal stuff, but
yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome when you hit someone, even as offensive lineman. You hit someone and it sounds like a car crash. You've got pads crashing, you've got helmets crashing. It's loud. It's awesome when you tackle someone and you can hear the crowd react to it. You just hear everyone go, ooh.
Yeah. Well, John agrees with me. He said nobody sits when there's a fight on the ice. So it's all about the carnage.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I have only seen hockey a few times, but yeah, for me, hockey's not super exciting just because I don't know. It's just not super exciting for me. But I mean, when a fight breaks out, everybody is on the edge of their seat.
Mm-hmm. So I gotta love this. Jared said, 4 boys and 2 girls in the family. None of us played football except the baby sister.
Mom said the same thing actually when I started playing. She goes, I had 4 boys, and I thought maybe one of them might play football, and in the end, it's my little baby girl that plays football in the family. I'm not gonna lie, that makes me happy. It makes me a little proud. I think one of the best things is telling people that I played tackle football and just seeing their reaction and going, oh, and wanting to know a little bit more about it. And they usually say, oh, it must be powder puff or lingerie. And I'm like, no, you should come see us play, because I think you'd be pretty surprised by how hard these women hit.
I've seen it. They hit pretty hard.
Yeah. You can go to our Facebook page or our YouTube channel and see some pretty awesome highlights of our pretty cool athletes.
Jared said, Dose of Dad. So he says, earhole is catching someone completely blindside. Typically, the left offensive tackle sucked at their job when it happens.
Wait, say that again. Earhole is catching someone completely blindside. Oh, typically the offensive left tackle sucked at their job when it happens. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Okay, I've never heard that term before.
Neither have I. Not in football, at least. So, Greg says, Jared, I give Daren grief. He does give me a lot of grief, but all of you are cool, including Daren. So,
including Daren. Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Some days. Greg said he played football and 2 championship rings. How many championship rings do you have?
Awesome. Wait, can you say that again?
Do you have championship rings?
Uh-huh.
Can I see it?
I don't have them on me right now. I'd have to run out, and nobody runs out of the room in a live video.
Except for me.
Yeah, except for you.
Yeah,
I should have brought them. I mean, they're in the other room, but so our first championship, our championship win, we got a ring. And our second championship win, we got an awesome pendant. I should have just worn it. And our championship rings for last year actually just came in, so I'm gonna be picking that up on Tuesday. So 2 championship rings. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool. You got the pushback only way Greg learns.
I'm sorry, what was that, Mumble Tina?
John says, Daren, you got to push back only way Greg learns. So John was talking about the how Greg always gives me grief, but I'm pretty cool. So.
Oh, yeah, you gotta push back.
I do gotta push back. I'm learning to push back. I'm learning, guys. This is all about learning. So.
Yeah, it's okay. I like you being a pushover. It's easier for me.
Make your job easier. Yeah, they did. They actually did make a movie about The Blind Side. I still don't understand The Blind Side, but the movie itself was actually pretty cool.
Well, yeah, so a lot of quarterbacks, they throw with their right hand. So they'll be throwing like this. They can't actually see what's coming this way, right? So the left guard and the left tackle have to really do their job, because if they don't, then the quarterback's going to be blindsided by that hit.
That makes completely sense. You should have been in the movie.
So because they're right-handed, their left side is pretty weak, so that left side of that offensive line has to do their job, because if they don't, then the quarterback could be really injured. So if someone's coming at the quarterback from his right side, he can see him coming and dodge him, but he's not going to see anyone coming kind of outside of his peripheral view. So that's what the blind side is.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. You should have been in the movie and explained it better.
In the movie? Yeah. I'm just on the movie. I'm just going to pop in and be like, so the blind side means this.
Well, Sandra Bullock explained it, but she didn't explain it well.
She explained it really well. She literally had an analogy. She walked up and she was like, you wouldn't want anybody to hit your mama, would you? And then the guy was like, no, I don't want anyone to hit you. And she's like, cool, I'm the quarterback. Don't let anyone hit me.
Okay, maybe I should go watch it again.
Go watch it again.
All right. So, does anyone in the chat have any more questions? Do you have any questions, comments that you'd like to discuss with us?
No.
Okay.
What are your Super Bowl predictions? Who does everyone think is going to win? I hope it's not the Patriots. I'm really tired of the Patriots winning. And they cheat.
How many have they won? Do we know?
I don't know.
Like I said earlier, I don't want the Patriots to win. I hope it's the Eagles. Let's see.
Well, did you guys see the video about the Patriots when they won the game against? I'm drawing a blank. Who it was? The last game where they got into the Super Bowl. Did you guys see the video about the referees that were celebrating with the Patriots? Oh my word! So it was a bit of a scandal because refs are supposed to be impartial judges, but they were pretty partial because the very first person to congratulate Tom Brady was the ref, and he was like really excited and basically, you know how a team wins and all the team kind of storms the field and they like congratulate each other and they're cheering and jumping and high-fiving each other and patting each other on the back. And all the refs were part of that little celebration. Gotcha. And they were like, "Yay, let's get it!"
Gotcha. So
it's kind of strange to see a ref show any like emotion about any kind of outcome of the game because they should be pretty impartial to it, and they were cheering pretty hard. So
I think we need to ask Greg his opinion and thoughts on that because he is a ref. But Joseph Dad says that is the worst Southern accent I've ever heard. Just saying. Were you talking about Sandra Bullock?
No, he was talking about mine.
Okay. No, it's my first day.
My Southern accent was pretty solid, I think.
All right. So, yeah, she did get me. I don't know anything about football, and I think now that she like explained the analogy, and I got it.
Go back and watch The Blind Side because it is a good movie, anyways.
It is a good movie, and I like it. I just never understood the football aspects of it. So
okay,
But when you just explained it, it made complete sense. So
yeah,
you don't have to
re-explain but also, you know how I was talking about how the positions on offense and defense are basically absolute opposites because you know how she was talking about how he had a protective instinct and that's why he made such a great offensive. I think he was a tackle or guard. I don't remember actually. He was an offensive lineman, and it's because because he was so big, they wanted him in a defensive position because they thought he was going to be absolutely destructive, but he didn't actually have that destructive personality. So they slapped him in on offense, but because he has a more of a protective personality, and when he got in a car accident, he protected his little broski. Yeah, she explained all of that, but
gotcha. Okay, I'll go back and watch it. So, Dose of Dad says, as a Southerner, I'm offended.
No, my Southern accent was super.
He
just has to slow it down a little bit.
I'm
sorry.
He's from Kentucky, so.
Oh, okay.
Dose of Dad, I've not finished The Godfather. I'm sorry. I know you can disown me or whatever. So now you have 2 reasons to disown me because I have a Mac and I didn't watch The Godfather, but I did not. I haven't finished it. Greg says he saw that Patriot Jaguar game, thought there was bias officiating. Seen it too often. So
yeah, it's crazy, and it wasn't just a celebration at the end, but the penalty stack up was insane.
Gotcha.
Like the penalties that I think the Patriots got like 1 penalty, and then the Jags got like 62. It was just insane.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, everyone in the chat so far has been all about not Tom Brady and the Patriots winning. So, I hope that comes true. Like I said, from everything that I've heard about the Patriots and And Tom Brady, I hope it's true that they don't win.
I know. I don't like Tom Brady.
You disappoint me, Daren. SMH. I guess your tech guy is gonna go on strike. Oh, come on! Don't go on strike. I need you.
He can't quit you.
Nobody can quit me. So, I will finish The Godfather. As a favor to you, I will finish it. He does offer make an offer I can't refuse. I will finish The Godfather, just for you, Mr. Dose. So, for those of you that don't know or can't guess, that's one of Mr. Dose's dad's favorite movie, and we've had a discussion about it a couple times. So, Greg says the Patriots cheat, and he put exclamation marks and put cheat in uppercase. So
they do. They cheat. I mean, they literally proved it with Deflategate 2 seasons ago, and there's been some speculation this year. I also heard that the commissioner said that he would love to see Tom Brady win the Super Bowl, but I don't know if that's confirmed or not. I've just heard random rumors of the commissioner being pretty biased towards the Patriots, but I don't know. I don't like the Patriots. Sorry, guys.
Dose of Dad says I hate Tom Brady, but I'm going to root for the Patriots just because I want to, just so we can hear everyone consistently complain about said hate for the next 6 to 8 months.
Oh, it's fine. They'll lose. They can lose, and I'll still complain about how much I hate the Patriots. We don't have to let them win for that. Like I'll still be pretty consistent about it.
Well, Greg agrees with you about the NFL looking away on the Patriots. So, from what I've heard, this is rumor that I've heard through the speculation mill and everything, but I've heard that Tom Brady's looking at retiring. So,
no, I don't know about that.
That's one thing.
If they keep handing him championships, because I heard he did a quote that said, "I don't know, I keep doing this, and I'm pretty good at it, and I'm the best I've ever been, so why would I stop?" or something like that. That's not a direct quote. But
that makes sense.
I mean, if I were him, I'd keep playing until I stopped.
So you can't.
He gets a lot of money, so I'm sure
he'll
keep on keeping on.
Excuse me. All right, Dose. Dose said, "I'm calling upon you for a favor, Daren. I know you thought this day would never come, but it has. All right, Dose. I'll do anything I can for you. Let me know what the favor is."
He wants you to watch the movie.
John says, "I don't like the Pats. I also don't like that Eagles fans throw trash at Santa Claus." Okay, I've never heard of that one. I didn't know Eagles fans threw trash at Santa Claus. That must
Wait, they what?
I also don't like the Eagles fans throw trash at Santa Claus.
They threw trash at Santa Claus? I hadn't heard that, but I mean, Santa Claus isn't real.
What?
Yeah.
I'm confused at the moment.
It's fine.
Sorry, I'm just.
We all find out eventually. Are you Googling?
Yeah, it says Eagle fans throw snowballs at Santa Claus.
Well, that's just unkind.
That is unkind. Sports fans in Philadelphia not only booed Santa, they also heckled and threw snowballs at him. And that's
not
true.
Nice.
Yeah. That's a jerky thing to do.
What do the Eagles have against Santa Claus? They didn't get what they wanted.
I know, Dose. That's a quote from The Godfather. I watched like a third of it, so I did know that. And Jared thinks the favor is for me to streak through the next Falcons game.
Go hard pass. Hard pass. I don't think there's enough acid in the world to let me unsee that. No, thank you.
Yeah, I ain't
Hard
doing
pass.
that. So, John says way back when they harassed Santa.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, in 1968 was the Santa Claus. Come on, move on. LOL. Okay, so we have Big John in the chat. So we have two Johns now. We have Little John. I'm gonna call him Big John because that's what I'm gonna do. Big John is from New Jersey, and he's like right across the border from Philadelphia. So.
Oh, okay. Philly people are pretty terrible and rude. I can't say yes or no to that, but
I've never been to Philadelphia. I've been through Philadelphia once when I went out to New Jersey for a wedding, but that was it. I didn't stop. So, I'm not gonna streak through the next Falcons game.
Oh, thank you.
So I'll do it on the championship.
Hard pass.
So
I don't think the world could handle your pasty hiney.
Oh, I'll fake bake before that. Don't worry.
Well, actually, back up. You'd actually have to come to my championship game for that to happen.
I would have to come to your championship game. True story. When we heard about the North Carolina game, Greg was this close to packing up the car and kidnapping me for that game.
That would have been so awesome. Why wasn't it this close?
I don't remember. We both had to work or something like that. I don't remember, or there wasn't enough time. I honestly don't remember. So, but we did. That is the game that we watched on the interwebs.
Oh, so I think our next championship game, if we make it there, obviously nothing's guaranteed, but if we are fortunate enough to make it to the next championship game, I'm pretty sure it's in Austin, so you should just come to that one.
Austin, Texas?
No, the other Austin.
Austin, Australia? Okay, I'll go.
Yeah. That's the one.
I would love to go to a championship game just for you, but I don't know what I can do. I can't predict the future.
I can.
Okay. What's the future look like?
The Falcons win the next championship.
The Falcons. That would be cool.
That's not true. I can't predict the future.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this year because we're playing some pretty awesome teams, and I'm excited to see what my team makes of it. So we're definitely going to have a bigger challenge than we have had the last 2 years, and it's going to be pretty awesome to see what happens.
That would be cool. I hope you guys can get it. I had a question and I forgot it.
I had an answer and I forgot it.
Oh yeah, so your season starts on an away game, correct?
Yeah. Our first two games are away games.
When's your first game at the Utah?
I think I said it was the 17th of April. It is the 14th of April.
Okay.
And that's Yale Majestics.
Okay. And where are you playing this year?
Our home field is Cottonwood High School. So all of our home games will be played at Cottonwood High School.
Okay.
The time can vary. It's usually late afternoon or evening. So, like I said, keep an eye on Facebook because that will be posted when we get a little bit sooner. But like if you guys are in the area, please come to some of the games. If you're not in the area, then you can donate to our team, and that'd be pretty swell too. We need all the donations we can get to make this happen this year.
So Joseph Daddy has said he says, "Hate to run off. Very nice to meet you. This whole fart is going to bed. Y'all have a good night." Have a good night, Dose. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for joining
Thanks
us.
for stopping by. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for joining us. Let's see. April 14th is a home game.
Yeah, Greg's on it. You should have just asked Greg.
I should have just asked Greg. What was I thinking?
I don't know.
He's probably got the website pulled up. I could.
Well, I also said it like 3 times.
If I show up, Bree, how can I get a media pass to get on the field?
Oh, Jared, you should definitely come. How can I get a media pass to get on the field? Like, are you talking about to take pictures, I assume? Like, if you want to show up and get some pretty cool pictures? I don't know, because I think the photographers on the field have to be certified through the IWFL. If it's an earlier season game, like if we're not in the playoffs, like we have a couple like sideline passes that we're able to give people, but I certainly can't guarantee any of that. But you should definitely come. April 14th. That's going to be a good
game. So basically, you need to contact the IWFL, correct?
To get a pass?
Yeah, or is that through the Falconz?
No, well, it would be through the Falconz, but
gotcha, okay.
I mean, if Jared's showing up for one game, then I don't know if it would really be worth it. But Jared, you should come. And if, like I said, if it's like an earlier season game, then it's not guaranteed. I can't actually guarantee anything.
Gotcha. Okay. So,
but you should still come, sister support,
if you want to.
Yeah.
So. Bree told you? Yeah, she did.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Kat.
I'm still reading Mom's text about you not telling her about your injuries.
Oh, what did she say?
Oh, she said these words coming up from my baby girl.
Oh, yeah.
So. All right. Any more questions from y'all from the chat? I'm actually gonna put the Falconz link of the website back in the chat so you guys don't have to scroll up. April 14th.
If you guys are feeling a little generous, go to Venmo at Utah Falconz and donate a couple dollars. Be really awesome. The Falconz are definitely needing all the help this year. If you like what we've done in the past couple seasons, if you like the idea of women kicking butt on the field, if you like the Falconz in general, if you like our history, anything, donate a couple dollars. That would be pretty fantastic. No pressure.
No pressure.
We need help. We need support. Come to games if you're in the area. Check out our schedule if you're in any of the Western states. Come to one of our away games. We definitely need people in the stands there. It would be awesome to see people in the stands.
That would be cool. Greg says April 14th road trip.
Yes.
He said
he'll drive since Daren can't possibly get out of the state without breaking down.
Yeah. When is the airplane going to be completed?
So the airplane we're kind of building part by part as we're able to. So right now the tail section is completely finished. So that's the rudder, the elevator, the stabilizer. We've got a lot of the fuselage finished. In fact, my husband's working on it right now. You can probably hear him coming in and out of the garage. So we've got a lot of the fuselage finished. We're working on wings right now. So we've got flaps working, and the ailerons is what we're working on right now. As to when it's going to be finished, I don't know. We still have a lot of work to do. I think we've done what we have accomplished so far a lot quicker than we expected, but I think we have a considerable amount of work left to do. And it's been really fun kind of working on it. And I don't know. it could be 2 years, it could be a year. It just depends on when we're able to put time and or money into it. So
Gotcha.
pretty awesome.
Jared says plug your Instagram account.
Thanks, Jared. So if you are interested in our plane project, you can follow us on Instagram at Making Our Flight. And anytime we're working on the plane and we're able to kind of make any sort of progress, I'll post pictures of it. A lot of it's Orlando because I'm taking the pictures. But it's pretty cool to kind of see it slowly take shape. So if you're curious what it looks like and kind of our progress as we've gone along, follow us on Instagram at Making Our Flight. Comment on how you think it's going and follow us along as we finish the sucker out.
Have you done any live videos on the process? That would actually be like
on the Instagram?
Yeah.
No, I haven't done any live videos on Instagram.
Have you done videos on Instagram?
Say that again?
Have you done any videos on Instagram? Or are they all pictures?
There's a couple. Actually, I don't know. There are a couple videos, but they're short little videos, or there'll be like boomerangs. I was actually thinking about doing a live tour of the fuselage of what we've got going so far. I just haven't yet. I don't know if anybody
that would be
really
cool.
Actually cares.
I would care.
Daren thinks it'd be cool. I'll give you a live tour.
What?
I said I'll give you a live tour of the plane.
That would be cool. I love the idea. I love following it. So I actually recently looked up about getting a pilot's license, and I can't get one. So
why? Oh, because of your weak heart.
Yeah. So
sucks.
But it's pretty cool watching the progress. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say the fact that you let your friends help you is actually kind of cool.
Yeah, if I've had a couple of people stop by and say I just want to help out a little bit or just hang out and help where I can, and it's a lot of fun to kind of get more people involved, especially if people are interested and they want to check it out and kind of see the process. Like people say, hey, I want to see the progress and see kind of what the status is, and then it's pretty cool to kind of show other people like this is what this is, that's what that is, and kind of explain a little bit about the process of building it. Because on Instagram, I mean, you've got pictures and little snippets of information, but it's really cool to be able to kind of explain it a little bit more. So it's cool, and I'm able to hang out with friends and work on the plane at the same time, and I love it.
That is actually pretty cool. I just think it's cool that you're willing to share the adventure.
Oh, I'm absolutely willing to share the adventure. I mean, I also have a joke that when the plane's done, I'm going to be able to fly to away games, and I'm just going to land it on the field and then walk out like third string defense is here. Don't worry, guys.
That would be cool. That would be awesome. I'd love to see that.
That would actually never happen.
I know. But it'd be cool.
It would be cool. I mean, I really could fly to the away games. That would for sure happen. But yeah, I just want to be able to land on the field. My dog's trying to come in.
Hi, dog. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this in just like a few minutes. If anyone has any last minute questions, feel free to answer. While you're doing that, I'm going to ask you to hit the thumbs up on this video. Thank you for those that have done it. Thank you for those that are here and stayed this whole time. I appreciate it. If you're not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Any support you can offer is awesome. So thank you for that.
Ports, bro. Thank you guys for letting me talk and preach the good word of the Falconz. Daren asked if I wanted to be a guest, and I said not so much. And he's like, "Well, we can talk about the Falconz," and I was like, "Well, I'll be there." So thanks for letting me, rant and rave a little bit about my own little passion. I hope I didn't embarrass my team too much.
I think you did a good job.
Oh shoot! Thank you,
So,
thank you very much.
Greg says you should parachute into the games.
Yeah, but then who's gonna land the plane?
Yeah, look at how parachuting is done with your back and your knees, Greg. I'm gonna point that out.
With what?
Greg used to serve in the military, and he was an airman. I'm butchering the story, but he was always the one parachuting, and it's just killed his knees and his back. So,
It's those parachute knees. Right, got it.
So, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the support you've given me. You guys are awesome. Have an amazing day.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.